Okay, so we've got a lot of things going on in this video. I'll try to explain it, but basically I'm doing two things at once here. I'm preparing for my new experiment of raising queens, which I hope we'll be able to start in about 2 weeks. And the other thing I'm doing is preparing to split my hives, which would come around the same time as raising queens. Um, and so for the raising queens, I'm going to be combining my weakest hive with another hive that I'll be using to raise the queens in, so they have as many resources as possible, because a really super big hive is really good for raising queens, so I'm going to combine the two. I even may add more bees to it later from other hives when it's time, but we'll see. And the other thing I'm doing is adding extra brood boxes to the other hives. And so this is what we're looking at now, and as I open up this one, you can see this is burr comb. They've literally built it hanging off the roof. And that popcorny stuff on the right, those are drones that are going to emerge. But I'm going to have to cut all this off eventually. I just didn't bring the frames to do it yet. So now for the rest of this, I'm speeding it back up because that was the most exciting part about that. But essentially I'm going to put brood chambers on all of these so they can start filling them out, building the wax, putting resources in them, so when I split, all those resources will be available for the new splits, and they'll be even stronger and better off. I'm able to do this because I use double screen boards to do my splits, which lets me kind of choose the timing of splits on my terms, instead of with a walk-away split, you kind of have to do everything in one day. I can choose to do this over time with a double screen board, and so I'm just starting the process by letting them build up their own splits for me. Now I'm going through and checking these. These should only be honey, but the queen was up there for a while, so I'm just checking to make sure I didn't accidentally miss her. There's quite a bit of honey in here, but after checking, no queen in here, so this is fine. If there was a queen in here, this hive would have a lot of problems, because the queen would be stuck in this tiny little bit, and all the stuff beneath her would be empty. So that's all honey that they've produced. So no queen. So the drones that are in there will hatch out and do whatever, and that's fine. I need lots of drones to make the queen, so that's fine to have lots of drones. It's about time for that to happen. I put drone comb in all of it so they had a place to do it, but they, as usual, decided to do it their own way. Now that this hive is done, I'm going to put an introducer back on because it's going to freeze because the weather is ridiculous. Just scraping off some crud. I had a hard time getting this one to fit, so I'm going to grab another one. And just as a note, when you buy introducers, they may not always fit, so it's good to check them first and cut them down. So now the introducers is on for the freeze this weekend. And now for the hive I'm going to be combining. So the work for this is to basically go through the hive, find the queen, get rid of her, and then this hive would be queenless and ready to combine with another one. So that's what I'm doing. There's a little bee stuck on a string. Take off the honey super. The bees just went crazy when I did that. Take off that introducer. Now I have to go through these one by one and find the queen. So I'm going to keep this on kind of sped up time, because I take my time trying to find the queen, because it sucks if you don't find her, because then she can wander back to the things you already checked, and then it just takes forever. So I'm taking my time with this, but I'm leaving it on sped up time just so you don't have to sit with it. I think the total time I was out with my bees before the video was about 30 minutes to do all this. Now, of course, I've dropped the video down to about 18 minutes by speeding it all up. So you can see here brood patterns. It's mostly centralized, pocket of holes in the middle just because those have already emerged. This one's a bit more scattered. Now, scattered brood isn't always a sign of bad things, but it's a textbook sign of a weak queen, and this hive is really weak. One of the reasons I don't mind combining it is my goal is to make the new queens and then use that better set of genetics for all these hives. It's a hive beetle on my arm that I just crushed. So this one pretty good solid frame. Still haven't found the queen yet. Really solid thing of brood there. That'll be really good for adding to the numbers of the new hive. And I'm checking really hard for the queen because I'm like, she should be around one of these. This is one of the more full ones, more whatever, but nope, no luck. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope she doesn't wander to these ones I've already checked. Just take forever. Still looking. Now I noticed they built stuff off the bottom. The thing to worry about if they build off the bottom are queen cells, which none of this is, so that's totally fine. But I keep expecting to see the queen, but I'm not. Lots of bees around me. This hive is really fussy about me checking, which isn't surprising. The weather's been kind of crappy, and that always makes for a little bit of a harder check. I haven't really built anything out on this frame yet, which is kind of interesting. This one is full of just food. It's hard to see here, but it's just shining full of nectar in there. But still no queen. Nope, we found her. So, I'm going to go ahead and cage her up. Got her. And she's sticking out a little, got her crushed, so I just have to open it and drop her back in, and then she's caged. She's right on in there. Now we're all done, speed it back up, and away we go. So all I'm going to do is leave this here until I'm ready to combine the hives. Now, one of the reasons I'm isolating the queen now is bees can tell they have a queen because they can pass the pheromone on with their antenna. So it's they push that scent physically from bee to bee. So when I take that queen out, they can't spread that smell anymore, and over the next 24 hours, they will realize they're queenless, which will make the combining a much easier, because when one half realizes they don't have a queen, there's nothing to fight about. They need a new home, and they'll accept it. If I left them both in, there'd be a fight. So by doing this, I'm making that combining effort a lot better. So now in this hive, I just need to add another box. This is my super strong hive that I want to use as my queen from, and this stuff on this queen excluder is pollen. This hive has been so productive, they're not eating the food I give it because they're getting all their stuff on their own. They've already made a couple frames of honey. But what is getting into this are wax moths. And so I'm just going to get rid of this crap because they're not eating it and it's pests are using it. So just scraping all this stuff off. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking I shouldn't use this one again if it has wax moth larvae on it, but then I'm also thinking this is a really strong hive, so wax moths aren't going to get anywhere with it. But now I'm going to send those bees back down below, and you can see they've already headed down. Grab the new box. No introducer between these because I want them to fill this up with brood, because this is the preferable one to split from because it has the best queen genes in it. The other one I left the introducer on, or the queen excluder on, just to see what I get out of it. It's kind of like a little experiment. If I really wanted the splits to do well, I think I wouldn't put a queen excluder on, but then I have to go find the queen across multiple boxes, and that sucks. So I'm just going to do a little experiment with both of them. All right. New introducer back on. And now to do my combining. So the basic deal with combining hives is you'll see what I'm about to do, but I could have arranged this a little bit better, but whatever, it'd be okay. But the basic deal is you put the two hives together separated by a sheet or two of newspaper, and then as the bees chew through the newspaper and kill each other, they slowly begin to accept each other's scent, and they have less and less to fight about. So by the time they're really through it, they're more or less going to be buddies and not fight internally. So here's my paper. Now, I think I have an earlier video where I tried to do this, and man, I made an idiot of myself. The paper was sticking to everything, I made a mistake, I couldn't get it to move right, and what a mess. So I'm sitting here in the back of my head worrying about, like, am I going to make a fool of myself with this paper? But I get it right this time, like I know what I'm doing. Now, it's time to grab the hive I'm combining with. And again, I've taken the queen out of this. Popping that thing off. Just setting this on the paper. Now the bees on top need to chew their way through to get out, so that's why they're going to do it. And the ones on the bottom can chew their way up if they want to go pick a fight. So now they get to do that. I'm just checking to make sure I've got it aligned, even though I can't see. That's why we're getting really close to this queen excluder. I'm just having to bend over and wiggle these boxes into place without being able to see where they sit on the boxes. Alright. Now, the basic deal is to reassemble, but I'm going to make a mistake. My mistake is I forgot that there were a bunch of hives left on the bottom board of the old hive, and so I needed to shake those back in. And then I forgot to put one of the frames in, and so I'm going to redo all this in just a second. So I'm like, oh, now I need to shake those in, so I need to take this apart. And now I need to make room. So that's for me to make room with, and I'm going to forget to put this back in because I'm thinking about all the wrong things while I'm doing this. So look at all this crud on that bottom board. Now the bees are clustered on the back board because of all the hive beetles inside of there. They're slowly killing the hive beetles. Look at all this crud. It looks like salt and other stuff in there. It's weird. So now we're going to shake these bees in. And after seeing all the hive beetles, I'm not sure I should have done it, but I'm shaking those in. Got bees all over me. Now we're going to speed up while we close this thing up. But there we go. Now what happens now is the hive I've combined will be the one I use to raise queens in. And so the next step will be to start raising queens, and then about 2 weeks after I do that, queens will be ready to hatch, at which point I finish the splits, put the new queens in, and I've got 6 to 7 new hives, all with better queens, I hope. So that's what's coming up over the next month. Using what I've set up here to both split in hives and raise what I hope will be about 30 queens from my most productive hive. Now, the thing I could have done better here is keep the honey supers with the correct hive so they don't fight over that, because there's bees in each of those boxes that don't agree with each other, so they'll fight probably. But I also know if I move that paper, I'll never get back on again, so there's where I forgot to put that on. So I'm just going to let them deal with it and take the losses. May not have been the best thing to do, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. It's time for one last little thing. Remember that queen I put in the cage? She needs to die. She's got no home anymore. I've never killed a queen before. So this will be a new thing. There she is in my hand. And she's trying to fly, but queens have put on so much weight that they don't fly much after they mate. So they can't get very far, but here I am just showing you her, but I have to kill her. But that's a queen. A little longer, a little fatter than the rest. And she climbing on my shirt, and there she is. I'm amazed I could find her in the leaves, but I did. Not just once, but twice. I keep trying to pinch her so I can show her easy, but my gloves are too clumsy. But yeah, I find her over here too. But now I've got her pinched successfully, but not smart enough to put it in front of the camera. There she is. And now we gotta kill her, so I'm just gonna cut her little head off. Boop. And then she's dead. It's a pretty sad thing for me to do that, but it's an important step. Thanks for watching.